politicians realized what was coming, including the British Foreign Secretary, this man right here, Sir Edward Grey. Watching the dust from his window on August 4th, the day Britain declared war on Germany, Sir Edward sighed. The lights are going out all over Europe. We shall not see them lit again in our lifetime. His melancholy remark was a deep resonance of the world that would never be the same. Grey and his fellow citizens were living in a strong and prosperous country with a vast empire. The war would provide a rude awakening to the grimmer reality of the 20th century, completely undermining Britain's position as the world's most powerful nation. Almost all of the other participants in the war suffered a similar reversal of fortune, or worse. In France, half of all men aged between 20 and 35 were killed or badly wounded. Its eminent position in the world would never recover. Okay, so you all are coming to the trenches. This is the first time that you've seen them. This is what you hear. Soon after the war began in 1914, the Allies and the Central Powers faced off on the battlefield. However, instead of marching towards the enemy and attacking, the two sides dug trenches. Trenches in World War I were a relatively new development in warfare and used as a way of defending an army's territory and its soldiers. Trenches helped to shield the soldiers from machine gun fire and easily prevented the opposing cavalry from successfully slaughtering their enemies. Does anybody know what cavalry is?
Horses.
Yeah, that's right. Soldiers on horses. Very good. Very good. Thank you. So, although these trenches were built as temporary fortifications, they became miserable homes for many men for many years. The young men would build new trenches often as they advanced towards the enemy or were forced to retreat back. Often the only thing that broke the monotony of digging and the frequent shelling of artillery was writing letters back to your family or even taking journal entries. So, it is November 1st, 1914. That is what you want to label your first journal entry as, November 1st, 1914, and this will be up on the monitors. At this time, respond in your journal to the following prompt. You're a young soldier who has just made it to the trenches, not far from the front lines. You have a few minutes to write in your journal about your new living conditions. And remember, the date is November 1st, 1914. This is at the beginning of World War I. You're one of the first soldiers to be placed in the trenches. So talk about what you've learned yesterday and previously in the week. You know, things you learned about the trenches. Talk about what you see. Talk about the conditions of the soldiers that are already there.
You said 1916.
1914. It's up there on the board if you're wondering again. I'm going to give you guys about 3 to 5 minutes to write a journal entry, okay? When you're finished up, please put down your writing utensil and lift your head so I know you're finished, okay? Thank you. You're in the trenches. The first time you've been there. This is the first of 4 journals you will write. And I want at least 4 sentences, please. And you can be as creative as you want, okay? Nobody is limited to anything, okay? Thank you, everybody, for working quietly. Appreciate it.